Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekend. Maybe it's your weekend. Maybe it's not. It's my weekend. Start of my weekend at least. Kids are in bed. I've got to do a flight tomorrow. Got to go fly with a guy and provide a little bit of training on some new avionics they had put in their airplane. So a little bit of flying to do. Let's see. Text message here. Gary Mackey is with us. Good evening, Gary. So glad to see you as always. Friday night, a hot cup of coffee and Zach on the table. Thanks, friend. So glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out with us, man. As for those who don't know, Gary's not just one of the moderators, one of the oldest subs to the channel. So super glad you're here. Oh, my parents decided to wake up for some reason. That's interesting. All right, cool story. I want to let everybody know that. Let's see. So if you remember, several years ago, when I first started on YouTube, one of the first long builds I did was this guy right here. The Lego Spaceman. All right. Well, for Thing One's birthday years ago, turns out accidents happen with Legos from time to time. And our astronaut here has a little bit of road rash. So we were going to finish the build, which is the piece we started last week, this one, but we're actually going to work on the astronaut tonight, try to get him put back together. And I felt like it was a fitting night to do that because if anybody has been following anything other than hateful politics, you'll realize that tomorrow begins the journey of the Artemis II rocket to aboard the crawler to launch Complex 39 Bravo at Cape Canaveral, Florida, for a scheduled launch on February 6th. We are going to, for the first time in more than 50 years, send humans to the moon. We're going to send 4 Americans to the moon for the first time since 1972. And I'll be honest, I'm not old enough. I look like it from time to time, but I'm not old enough to remember the first time we went to the moon. But I've always been fascinated by it. It was not, of course, in the cards for me as far as a career. But it's certainly an area of both personal and academic interest for me. So I'm so excited to be able to live through an era where we send another living person or people to an extraplanetary body other than the Earth. It's a scale that I almost can't process. Good evening, Elephant 7510 says, met Neil Armstrong when I was very young. I obviously never had the opportunity to meet him. Fascinating character. One of the things I found interesting. Can you imagine? His first marriage ended in divorce, and good or bad, it is what it is. But that had to have been very stressful for everyone involved in that situation. I can't imagine anybody had a good, had an easy time. These men, and they were all men back in those days, they did not want to be heroes. They did not see themselves as heroes. They were test pilots. They were military pilots and test pilots. And they felt a calling, in 1961, Kennedy gave the challenge to Congress to challenge themselves to put a man on the moon and return him safely to the Earth by the end of the decade. And then in the summer of 62, he gave a speech at Rice University down in Houston after having toured the Houston Space Center. And in his speech, he asked the question, he said, why do we choose to go to the moon? Actually, what he says is, why does Rice play Texas? Because, of course, back then, Texas was a juggernaut in football. He says, why does Rice play Texas? Why do we choose to go to the moon? We choose to go to the moon and do these other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. And by virtue of being hard, a thing is worth doing. It is worth doing something hard for no other reason than it's hard to do it. Stephen Adams, 4466. Welcome back. Super glad to catch you on the stream. My sister-in-law's husband currently works for NASA, who just finished working on the shuttle going to the moon. Yes, we were actually, the Artemis 2 heavy lift, on top of which sits the Boeing Orion capsule. So yeah, I'm excited to see it. So you can see there in the chat at Megan Morgan Teach. That's of course my lovely wife, and she says Thing One is so excited, and yes, Thing One is very excited. I told Thing One the other day. On February 6th, you're going to stay up late and you're going to watch this history, because I remember being woken up early on a Saturday when Columbia was being torn apart during reentry due to the impact of the foam during launch, and then during recovery, of course, it didn't burn up. What actually happened was the hole in the wing let the hot air in, which caused the flight controls and computer systems to melt and malfunction and fail. It then lost roll stability, and it began an uncontrolled roll. And at those speeds, it over-G'd and ripped itself apart, and of course, ended in fatalities for all those aboard. So my dad woke me up, and I've always been a big space fan. And my dad said, this isn't going to be pretty. This isn't going to be a pleasant experience, but this is something that is going to be historical to you, and you need to see this. And I'm glad he did, and I'm so glad he did. James Avery, 2868. Yeah, that was it was that. And Laurie Cragen clamped for 4411. Oh, hello. So glad to see you. So good to see you again. Well, Lori, I'm glad you're here. So last week, for those who weren't with us last week, if I can find my papers here, hold on, a little bit disorganized. But although this is the cleanest the desk has been in a long time, I'll be frank with you. I've been up here for like an hour getting the space cleaned up for you guys. We started building this. It's actually a 3D wooden puzzle. It's pretty cool. It's a little something that Megan gets me every year for Christmas. I get one in various sizes and shapes, and I've got sometimes they're little tin or aluminum. This one happened to be wood. I've got a couple of wooden ones as well. So last week we started it, and we got through this. We got the nose cone of it built here. So this is the front of the dirigible, and of course the basket will sit underneath. And then we got the back third of the dirigible completed here before we ran out of time. And then through the process, Thing One is room is under transformation from little kid room to big kid room, and part of the update will be a space theme. And so this was something I built for Thing One's birthday several years ago, and of course accidents happen when you have children and Lego, and so the life support pack that goes on the back fell apart into several pieces. So we're going to work on trying to get that fixed tonight so we can get that back on display. So welcome everybody, glad you're here. Let's see. Stephen Adams 4466 says, are we going to do another build next week, or are we just going to do a regular chat night? I'm going to try to start doing some more builds and incorporating with that some chats. There'll be some events that are worthy of their own chat, so I can take questions. I just realized my camera cable's in the way, I guess. So sorry. Move it best I can anyway for now. See if I can hook it around the corner of the most. Hey, stand by one, guys. Oh, Lord have mercy. I know I'm turning monitors off. Lord have mercy. Hang on. Not too bad. We're kind of back where we started. I'll take it. So we'll be doing mainly or as many builds as I can do. Part of that is going to be budgetarily limited. This is a build I have to repair. This over here is a build that I have to finish. So we'll finish this tonight. We'll finish this, I don't know, tomorrow night, next week, something. And then I really have one build waiting, which is right here. Okay. So right now, that is kind of the extent of what I have as far as projects. So don't have any in the wings at the moment. Huh. My turtle even agrees. No, we're out of projects. Looky there. So if that's something you guys want to help with, I'm working on updating the Amazon list. The link and the profile for this channel is still good. And I'm working on adding some Lego in there for you guys, if that is something that you feel so inclined. Oh, I take that back. I also have, I think it's a Harry Potter setup. I can't remember if it's part of Hogsmeade or something. I forget, that I need to finish, as well as a similar block. It's not quite Lego, but it's a similar block building, and it's a solar system. So we'll get that too. So I got about 3 weeks worth of stuff. Yes, Gary, I still do. I'm working on updating us. I put a little bit of time into it last week, but I'm gonna try to put some more into it hopefully this weekend. But yeah, wish list, the link is still good. Elephant 7510. Are the kids and wife good? They are. They're very good. Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I don't know if she's still here. My wife was my wife, who's at Megan Morgan Teach, is in the chat, or she was. So for sure, Stephen Adams 4466. Looking forward to the Harry Potter Lego. I would die to watch it. Yeah. So any build we do, to the extent that it'll fit on the screen, one of the things I'm trying to figure out, and I've identified a couple of camera options. I really need. So this is just, it's a really good quality camera, but it's just a webcam, right? But I would really like something that's got a little higher quality camera, and I can just run it through a capture card. In fact, that's one of the things on the list, is a video capture card that lets me convert like cell phones or digital cameras, whatever, into webcams, or the computer will read it as a camera interface, a video input, and so, or video output rather. That could be video input anyway. And so that way I can zoom out and I can get some wider shots, because it's you can see it's got a really shallow. This has a really deep depth of field. So I really shallow depth of field and really wide, but I sort of have to work way out in front of me. Like I'm sitting back past the back of the keyboards, in front of the keyboard, sitting way back past. So I've really got to work way out here in front of me. And so I'd like something that I can work a little closer to me. So I'm working on trying to find exactly what those products look like and put those on the wish list, but also try to keep the wish list stocked with Lego and some other things as well. So. Yeah. Good question. Lori Sue Cragen Clamped 4411. Yes, I confess I missed your live stream last week. I'm recovering from surgery due to progressive MS. Oh, that's right, Lori. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm glad that you're recovering. I'm sad that you missed last week, but I understand why, and I think it was necessary. So I'm glad you're healing. I miss more than I'd prefer, but I'm appreciative when I can catch up. You know, Lori, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're here when you are, and if you're able to catch us on the replay, I hope that that brings you the enjoyment that you seek here. And I'm glad you come here for enjoyment. I had an uncle, I guess it's technically a step uncle, who ended up. He had progressive MS for many years, and ultimately succumbed to it. But fantastic human being. I like to think I'm a little bit smarter than the average bear. I mean, there's days I'm dumb as a rock, but on the average, I'm a little bit smarter than the average bear. But this man was just absolutely brilliant. He'd read multiple translations of the Bible. He'd read the Quran. He had read the Torah. He had read the Book of Mormon. He read the Bhagavad Gita. He had read many religious texts. He was the son of a pastor and a career educator, music teacher, band director, I guess. Ultimately a high school counselor before he was forced to retire early due to his deteriorating health. But just a fascinating human being, and just a kind man. He's missed every day for sure. But anyway, we're glad you're here. So as you can see, Astronaut Man here sits on this stand, and on the back of Astronaut Man is this life support system that is now in a variety of pieces. So we're going to work on getting that repaired. There's a few parts going in the front as well. We'll look at it. All right, let's see. Steven says Friday night with you building Lego makes Friday nights even better. Something to look forward to for the end of the week. Well, I appreciate those kind words. You know, IDK James, if anybody's seen him, I haven't seen him in a while. I hope he made it through the government shutdown okay. I really do. So let's see. See if I can figure out where we are in the build. Okay. So we've made it past there because there's one-legged astronaut. Let me make sure all of his appendages are correct. Okay. So they're not. I'm missing, looks like, the front part of his torso right here. So let's see if any of these pieces. Elephant says, it is a turtle right there, my little turtle. I'm not sure where it came from. I think somebody got it from me on a trip they had traveled to. I'm not sure, but it's a cute little thing. It sits at the base of the computer monitor there. Okay, so I need to look and see how Homeboy's torso is made. Let's see if I can go back in time a little bit here. Okay, so I got to go way back in time. Looks like the torso was the first part of what we built here. But yes, it is a turtle. Good eye. Okay, still got his face on. Let's check the back of his head. Back of his head's okay. All right, what is this? Okay, that piece is still attached, and then we go bag 2. And those become his arm anchors. Okay, there it is. Let's see. Oh, you know what happened? I think I know what happened here. I think. Yep, watch. Actually, so it looked like I was missing. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm touching my keyboard. Stand by here, folks. I'm just on fire today, aren't I? My bad. So it looks like, if you look at it real careful here, it looks like he's missing a piece right here, but he's actually not. The hips swivel Elvis Presley style. Well, the problem is he's also, I got to make sure I get his legs oriented in the correct direction. So I'm not sure if the legs, I did it again. Doggone it. Sorry. I'm charging my mouse. And for those who live in the Apple sphere, you'll understand Apple, for whatever reason, has, and they may have a newer design than this. This is a bit old. That you charge the mouse from the bottom, which is just a terrible design. So I end up having to use the laptop hand controls for that. I'm trying to look and see the orientation of the leg, because I feel like one or both of the legs is actually in the socket backwards at the moment. Maybe we should raise enough money for a bigger, newer, longer desk with better setup for Lego Build Nights. That's funny. I actually have a desk on my wish list. I don't know the logistics of getting it into my house, but you know what? If it shows up one day, then I will figure it out, because I am like 1% smarter than the average bear. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we've already solved part of the problem. So here, that's better. Oh boy. Oh no, I think the legs were on actually the wrong hips too. They were backwards and on the wrong hips. Because when it came careening down, a variety of people stepped in to try and help, and I'm not remotely critical. They, at least, because even though the pieces weren't put back on exactly the same, the pieces stayed together. So I'm not hunting for pieces all over the house, for sure. The other thing, Steven, you talk about desk. The other thing that would help is I actually have 4 monitors on the desk right now. One for my Mac, one for a set for my Mac, a set for my PC. The Mac is my personal, and then the PC is for work. So, one of the things that I would love to have is actually a series of stands to get the monitors off the desk, and then I would have the entire desk working space, because I lose 6 or 7 inches for the base of each of these monitors. I'd love to have them sort of off the desk and have all the working desk space, but when I do that, now I've got freestanding stuff. I've got a dedicated room, and it's got plenty of room. I just got to figure out the best layout to maximize what I'm trying to do. Okay, so the good news is his hips and knees are no longer dislocated and facing backwards. He's anatomically more correct than he was a few minutes ago, so that's progress. Okay, so now we get to the part where we start building the life support system. All right. Where would that piece be, I wonder? All right, here. And 2 of them, I think. Right? Yeah. I feel like Little Hands tried to fix the problem. They may have, probably, but that's okay. They tried to help, and they put the pieces back relatively correctly, relatively where they go. And it complicates it when the hips swivel. So you think the feet are on correct, but in reality they're on backwards. And it's, anyway, yeah. Little Hands probably did assist in the demise of that particular assembly. I would agree with that sentiment, I think. All right. And this I'm going to cheat real quick and look at the orientation on the box so I can figure out which side it's going to go on. This goes on homie's left side, which means this. And I think this entire bottom assembly, or is it this bottom assembly? It's not that bottom assembly. Is it this one? Or this one? I'll have to look at it. Elephant says, have you seen Jack and Dad? I have. I have seen Jack and Dad. I actually follow Jack and Dad on, I don't know, YouTube or Facebook, or wherever they are. I'm not sure exactly, but wherever I see them, yeah. Jack and Dad, a 15-year-old autistic son, sings while doing Lego, and Dad accompanies with his guitar. He's done hundreds of Lego sets. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's one of I love Jack and Dad, actually. Will Newman dash Jughead Jones says, just arrived. What are we building? Well, Will Newman, Jughead Jones, we are repairing our astronaut here. Astronaut took a tumble and broke into a variety of pieces. So we're just going to repair that real quick. Shouldn't take us too long. Steven S says, I wonder if there's a way to go from 4 monitors down to like 3 or 2. There is. It's simply a piece of hardware. It's a video switcher. I think I've got one in there right now from Roland. They make a slightly less expensive version from a company called Blackmagic, but Blackmagic, in the right environment, they're fantastic. But they're programming heavy, meaning you have to do quite a bit of work programming the software to make it behave the way it's intended. So the Roland, although more expensive, is a turnkey, and it's very much like a video switcher. So what happens is my monitors plug into that switcher, and then all of my various as outputs, and then all of my various computers and whatever plug in to the system is inputs, and then I just use buttons to select inputs, and whatever I select is what you guys see, and it's what I see. So yeah, that technology does exist. And I've got the Roland of a V8 or HD, either 8 VHD or whatever their prosumer prosumer version of it is for sure. Okay, so this assembly, I believe, is still complete. It is. Yeah, that assembly is good. Do I plug it in somewhere? I do. Looks like I plug it in. The question is where? So we have this assembly. It goes sideways right here. Uh-oh. I dimmed the screen on over here. It's okay. I don't think I meant to, but I'll be okay. There we go. Let's see. I've got it set up for a combo work and weather monitors. It's a tree that holds 5 monitors, 3 for work and 2 for weather. Pretty sure I found it. Yeah. So I've got one like that in my aviation lab where I work at the school. At my lecture station, I have I think it's a 3 or 4 monitor tree. I've got 2 monitors side by side, and then I've got a third monitor on top. I'd actually love to go either 2 monitors, a total of 4 or 5. But yeah, there's a way to do it for sure. And I use some hardware. I use a piece of hardware and interface to switch back and forth between those inputs as well. I got a great grant through the school to actually secure that. So, and it's worked out. I was wondering, is this gonna do it? And it actually works great. The way I've got it set up right now. So I just need. Okay, and then we get to here. Except I'm missing. Is the whole stack still here in this case? I'm not sure. No. Let's see. I'm missing the inside pieces. Is this it? No. Okay, let's see. actually, this isn't quite right. I can still fix it though. The interface controls 3 screens from one CPU and keyboard. I'd look into something like that. I'm not familiar with that product, Gary, but I'm definitely interested. Definitely interested in that. Okay, I'm missing something minor, but I'm not sure what or where. And this piece appears. I need this right here. Lego play. Gary says, "What do you look at the weather for? Work or hobby or both?" Both. I teach aviation meteorology. That's one of the classes that I teach. So I, of course, use it for there. I also assist pilots in my family. My dad, for example, will often ask me for help in interpreting the weather, and I'll help him with that, certainly. Okay, I see my problem. Here we are. Now I'm back to even. So I help him with that when he asks. I mean, although I often want to give unsolicited advice, I like to think I'm just smart enough to know better than to do that. Oh, you weren't even asking me. Sorry. Yeah, sorry, Elephant. I thought you were asking me. No, you're asking Gary. Gary is part of our large network in Oklahoma of storm chasers. And they provide a critical link to the community. It is not just for professional meteorologists, although they do have, they do serve a critical role. There are trainings you can go to become certified as a storm chaser. That doesn't mean you get to act reckless and make bad decisions, but what it does mean is that you can work with your local county or city or community emergency management. Okay, these are my extra bits from the box. Let's see if I have enough to accomplish what I'm looking for here. Otherwise, it's going to get a little bit exciting. Okay. Megan Morgan Teach. If you're on here, can you look on that box where this stuff was, right next to where my backpack normally sits, and see if I'm missing a few pieces? I thought I collected them all, but I may not have. So if you're on here, can you check for me? We've got everything for this piece. This piece goes right beside it. Uh-oh. Let's not drop it and make it worse there, big shooter. That's not it. Although this is Dollar Sedona. It's going to go right over here. I think. Maybe not. Okay, let me do it right now, Gary, while I'm waiting to see if I got missing pieces downstairs on Amazon. Okay, yeah, that's in the same vein. Yeah, that's cool. Well, not quite. That's not what I thought it was. I'm actually not seeing, unless these are all sponsored. I may have to get through all the sponsored results first. So much of this crap now is sponsored, I can hardly see through it. This is probably in the same vein as what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Okay, so I did leave them in the other room. Thank you. Yeah, the if you're talking about the big Dominator truck Elephant, that's the exception. Most storm chasers just don't haul a Dominator truck around. Yeah, that's why I couldn't find them. I thought I grabbed them all. And Megan Morgan Dash teach to the rescue with the pieces I left. So here they are. I do love that you were watching tonight. She doesn't watch much. She's normally exhausted, and she's getting ready to go back and finish that her doctorate. Well, she's been back. She's starting her next semester, I think, basically Monday. So, yeah, in January we already had tornadoes. Of course, it's been unseasonably warm, and that just makes everything more miserable for our storm chasing friends and family. I need to pop that plate off too. Oh, wait, or nope, never mind. I should have left it on there. I got a little bit ahead of myself. It should be, yep, perfect. Okay. So now I have this, and I have this, and this plugs into here. Beautiful. There's the first part of the life support pack. Think about buying a coffee mug for your store. Do you have a favorite or a recommendation? Well, I will tell you that I have one on my desk here. I need to actually update it because the logo is not quite square. Look at that. Logo is not quite square. I wish the logo was a little further over here, but that's okay. It's porcelain. It's a good coffee mug. I rather than getting 2 cups of coffee, I tend to have my coffee cups bigger than this, and so I can have like a 10 or 12 ounces instead of 6 or 8. But and I've also got these giant bear paw hands. I mean, this is a regular size coffee mug, and I got these massive bear paw hands. But it's I don't necessarily have a favorite, but those what you see there has always worked for me, and that's the one I keep up here in the office. Drinking water tonight, but when I'm drinking tea or a hot beverage or something, I tend to go to that, so not bad. Okay, so we got our bridge back together there. That's where that piece went. I was like, I knew I was missing something. And then this piece is going to go dead center. Gary, I'm glad you're here tonight, brother. I missed you. I know you dropped in for a few minutes last time. But even though we've never met, we're not separated that far geographically, but although we've never met, I've for a long time considered you certainly part of the YouTube family, but even to a greater extent. More than that, let's see. Yes, okay. So you'll see this piece here, right? This little hook right there. I couldn't find the other one because it's supposed to be one on this side too. It's actually stuck right here. It went in like that, and then you just pop it loose. So we found that. I will tell you when my Google Pay W-2 or 1099 rather, whatever it is, came in this year, it was very different than last year. But that's to be expected considering the channel was offline for just under 12 months. And guys, I tell you, I am super glad to be back. Like I said, I was scared to death about coming back on here and there being nobody here. I mean, I had been talking to Megan about it, talking to her about it. And she kept saying, go back and try it. They'll be there. I kept saying, man, it's, as Billy Joel said, I am the entertainer. They come to hear my sound, but if I don't continue to put out material, nobody's going to be here. And Megan kept saying, I think they are. I think they're going to be there. And so I finally said, well, I don't know if I don't try. So one day I just did it. And there you guys were, man. I'll tell you what, it still blows me away that you guys still come and hang out with me. And don't get me wrong, I'm not remotely mad about it. You guys have a lot of choices when it comes to who you want to spend what little free time you have and who you want to spend that little bit of free time with. And the fact that you all choose to spend some of that time with me means more than you could ever understand. The support you give my channel does help me take care of my family. I mean, we're able to pay our bills without it, but it is certainly nice to be able to, to take my dad out to dinner from time to time, or whatever the circumstances may be. And you all, by supporting this channel, make that happen. And I can never express how incredibly thankful I am for all of you here on the channel that help make that possible. There are no words. I'll be honest. There are no words to express my gratitude in that. To express my gratitude. So, thank you beyond words. Thank you. Top grade. Want to get away. I got a little bit ahead of myself here, and I'm not loving my choice I made. There we go. Now we're back to where we're supposed to be. Okay. Taking a break from watching all the coverage in Iran. Yeah, I'm at a season in my life. I've always been very political, but I'm at a season in my life where I almost consider it a luxury that I don't have the time to engage in the political rhetoric and vitriol. But I used to live for that stuff. Steven says, I definitely miss you and your channel. I kept checking your channel. Was super sad and disappointed you left. It was understandable, but I was jumping with joy when you came back. Guys, I was really nervous, but I'm glad I did. To see all you guys here, even though there's 12 of you, that's okay. It's like anything else. Over time, through word of mouth, through patience, this channel will grow. And I'll get back to where I was. Elephant says, I never talk on other channels. This would feel safe. Well, there's a reason my stuff says be kind to someone. I try anyway. I try so hard to be kind to people, and there's days I don't want to. There's days I want to be ugly and nasty. I'm human, right? We all want from time to time to say and do things that's mean and nasty, but I always like to think that common sense will prevail. Gary says, kept the Patreon going the whole time. I knew you'd come back. Well, thanks, Gary. I appreciate your support. All of your support. I really do. I really do. I actually need to go and check the Patreon. It's been a long time since I checked the status of the Patreon. I need to check that actually. Okay, let's see. Okay, so here, oh boy, I'm making it worse again. And come April, if anybody finds yourself in my neck of the woods, we're putting on a fundraising golf tournament to help raise college tuition, scholarship money, and flight training money for students in my program. So if you find yourself wanting to dust off the sticks or play a nice round of pasture pool, I'd be happy to have you. Email me at email stayed the same. Your lawyerfriendzach@gmail.com for more information. You guys know the drill around here. Most of your old hat at this. Okay, that all looks right. This doesn't. Okay, here's what doesn't look right to me. Here's this. That's where my mistake is. Then I'm here. Sorry, I'm not talking to the mic. Then I'm here. Oh, bloody. We'll do it like this. And I'm missing one piece. Or am I? Or am I missing that piece, I guess is the question. Yeah, I'm not missing that piece because that piece becomes this piece. That's better. Except I'm going to turn that in and then lock it down good, just like that. Okay, that's better. Okay. However, let me look in The sides are supposed to look the same on this. Maybe I'm more right than I thought I was. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. Let's just flip ahead and let this thing continue building. Yeah, we did that. That. And then the white, yeah. And then, yeah, that all goes in the middle, good. Then that stretches across, good. No. That's not right. That is not right. Yeah, that sits on top of there, good. Then those go in the middle, good. Okay, there's my error right there. This piece right, where's my puller? This piece right here is wrong. There it went. This goes on the back right here. Hello, between work and some heavy topics discussed in other streams today, I'm drained, but we'll see how long I last. I'm sorry about all streams. Don't you dare apologize, girl. You're here when you can be, and when you're not, I know it's for good reason. There is not a contract. I mean, there may be a social contract between us, but there's no contract between us. Like everything else, if you're able to join us, I'm glad to have you. And when life is just too big and too hairy and too in the way, I get that too. Because sometimes that's just how it is. And I'm okay with that. But what matters is you're here now. And for this moment, you're okay. Remind me as I wrap this build up tonight, I want to tell you guys a little story. But I want to be able to focus on telling it. Okay, I'll go check the Patreon when I get finished, Gary. Thanks for that. Let's see. Those are all, yep, that's all there. And then this piece should, nope, I'm still a little bit low. Okay. Let's see. This is where this thing kicks in here. Let's see. There, those two, good. And then, aha. Oh, wait, no, here it is. Oh, nope, don't love that. Don't love that too much. Let's see. So according to this, if this is right, that's if it's right. 1, 2, it is. Big little big. Abigail says, appreciate you. You go, well, the world is stressful enough. We don't need to make it worse. And Abigail is a new member. Thank you, Abigail, very much. For those who don't know, for those who didn't know that yet, I have created a membership or subscription. I don't know what YouTube, I can't keep up. I think YouTube calls it members and Facebook calls it subscription, something I forget. But thank you, Abigail, the newest member. Thank you very much. And Gary coming through. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks for all you do for us here at the channel. Not just for me, but a little bit of well-worn, wizened knowledge on the other side of that screen sometimes is helpful too. Oh, let's see. I'm missing a piece, and it kind of sort of bothers me. I got that. I'm missing. Hold on. Let me look and see. Ah, I see. I see Shed the Blind Man. Yes, that piece goes there. Oh, and Gary gifted 5 memberships, guys. Thanks, Gary. Make sure you guys grab one if you want to be a member. make sure you grab one. I'm not sure how to do that. I know it's a thing. I've seen it done on other channels. I just don't know how to do that. But if somebody, I need to look into it. But if somebody out there knows how to do it, by all means, please advise, as they say. Oh, I see. Okay, so I was missing this piece and I couldn't figure out why, but it's because it's right there. What happens is that brings that level. I can flip this cone on top. There's the cone, just like that. Groovy. And as always, you guys know the drill. If you support the channel financially, there is never an expectation that anybody here supports the channel financially. You guys, the fact you guys come and hang out with me is really cool by itself. But if you support the channel financially, then we make sure we put that on the screen. One of the things we do here. YouTube automatically assigns memberships after you purchase. We can't control it. Okay, cool. See, I'm always learning something. My granddaddy once said, son, it's not about what you know. Sorry. Yeah, it's not about what you know. It's about who you know and what they can teach you. And here we are. I'm learning something from somebody smarter than me. Now, I like to think I'm a pretty bright guy, but there's always something out there to learn. Gary says, Abigail, looking good in green. Indeed. And Abigail, you also have been a long time contributor. Not just financially, you've always supported the channel financially, but also showing up, being present, and even when you, and not, I don't expect you to be here all the time, but when you are here, you engage with us, you add to the conversation, and you make the video better by being here and joining us. And for that, I am deeply appreciative. Oh, this is being a little bit finicky. It's not lining up just right. Hold on. There it went. Okay, the spacing was a little bit loose up there, but we got her now, boys and ladies. Oh, come on. There it went. Let's start in the middle. Let's seat this thing in the middle. There it went. Oh, boy. Not the way I wanted that to go. That's better. And no, I'm 1 dot too high. Don't want that yet. Yeah, the world's it's a high stress, high temperature place, and in certain things, that high stress, that high temperature, that high energy is necessary. Like there are places where it is 100% necessary and appropriate, but there's also places where we can take a different approach. We can get along, and we can take 45 minutes or an hour, and we can hang out, and we can be thankful for our opportunities. And sometimes that's what it's about. Okay, something's still not right over here. My line is off just a little bit. When you talk about flights or no, it's unless I have a specific topic that I'm trying to cover material on, it's sort of just open questions. I mean, I'm a naturally inquisitive person. My thing one is super inquisitive as well, and I've always been that way, and that's a little bit of a product of my raising, I'm afraid, somewhere along the way. Okay, somewhere my spacing is off ever so slightly. Right there. Yep, right there, I found it. So when the pieces don't quite line up right, so let's start here. 2, 3, there. I see. Yeah, I gotta go up one more on that one. So I was 1 dot off. I could line the top up or I could line the bottom up, but I could not line the top and the bottom up. And I figured out what was missing. This goes there. This goes here. So there's these are supposed to be representative of the oxygen and hydrogen liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen that they use in the life support packs. And then just like that, everything, until I break it again, lines up and seats everything else home. Perfect. I love it when a plan comes together. Let's see. Stephen says, glad I found your channel a few years ago. Definitely a safe place. Well, I'd like to think so. I try really hard to create a welcoming environment. Unless it's late and it's on the vertical and people are being trolls. In that case, I'm not always as kind as perhaps I should be, especially when I get running downhill with the yo mama jokes. Let's see. Right now, I can only handle little bits of the news. Too much other stuff going on that I have to manage. No, I get it. 100%. I get it. 100%. Not going to hear any resistance from me on that at all. 100%. Did you hear Aaron's trial date? I haven't followed it real close. I know that he got picked up for something, and but he gets his day in court. That's what matters. Where's the dad joke? That's funny. I should write some. If anybody ever just gets bored beyond recognition and you just can't find anything to keep yourself happy, as a casual release of energy, I occasionally find myself down in the McKinney, Texas area doing stand-up comedy on a random, unforeseen, unforecast Tuesday night. The roster won't come out till that day. So you have to follow them on social media. I don't even know when I'm performing. I just look at it on social media and suddenly, apparently, I'm performing. So there you go. Okay, so now we have a new little problem. And that is I'm missing some more pieces. And I'm not entirely sure where they went. I've got the top of it right there. Oh, no, right here. Let's see. I was Oakland baseball prior, so Stephen. Yes, I remember. Yeah, I do remember that. You're one of my old timers too. You've been with me for a long time too. Okay, so until I can find the pieces that should mount there, unless by just sheer happenstance I have them over here, and I do not appear to. Here's the joystick for the control unit. Seem to be missing that at the moment, but it is certainly in a much better state than whence we left it. So let us work on mounting it. Here's the backpack. It's going to mount. There and just it there and there. Let's see if I can seat it home. Not quite. Let's see, Donna Ria 2975. I'm going to have to tell my bestie about your videos. I think you would love them. Well, I would be happy to have him. Make sure he if he joins us, make sure he lets me know that you sent him. Yeah, make sure he knows. If I can ever get to where YouTube is a quasi to even full-time job for me, I actually want to come up with a referral system where if you refer somebody to my channel and they show up in the chat for the first time and say, so-and-so referred me, I want to be able to set up a referral program where you guys can get a referral gift of some sort. Not something small, but I still think that would be something cool to do. I don't know of any other creators that do that. I would like to do that if it gets to the point where it makes sense financially for me to do that. I'd love to create a referral system to thank you all for bringing your friends and your family and spending what little free time you have and taking and spending it with me. All right. So we've now got the backpack back on, got the life support pack. We are missing a little bit of a doohickey that hangs on the bottom of this that I mount the joystick to, but we're a whole lot closer than we were. We then find the hole in the back. Slide the stand in. Wait for the resounding click, which is one of the most satisfying sounds. Oh, that one didn't click. It's in there, but sort of a disappointing sound, which is unfortunate. And there you have it. Looky there. We got our astronaut back. Isn't that cool? We will be quilting tomorrow. Well, very cool. So I'm missing just a few pieces. I'll probably find them, the box that this stuff was sitting on, once I get that box emptied. I'm sure it'll magically show up. They tend to do that. She says, turn it around. Okay. Here's the back. I'll show you guys the mount. It mounts right there. Back. Actually, I can try and do. Hang on a second. Don't want you to see too much of my messy office here, messy studio. But here you go. Yeah, isn't that just cool? So thing one's going from little kid room to big kid room, and that'll go on the wall. So one of the things I'm looking at too, and I can't remember if I think I put some of them in the Amazon list, but anyway, I want to put some floating shelves right above my head and put a bunch of the Lego displays for a couple of reasons. I need to get the Lego displays upstairs, because the curio cabinet is for my wife to decorate, not for me. And that's where all our Legos are at the moment. So I want to build those completed sets and put them up here. But I also want to rotate them through. I've also got some LED lights I want to trim it with and do some cool stuff there. But again, once I get a good camera and maybe a new desk at some point, this eventually, in 30 years, this space will be exactly the way I want it. But it's kind of like a man cave. You just keep working on it and get a little closer every day. And like I said, the next Lego build we do will be this guy right here. It's the Pixar lamp. What do they call him? What's his name? Luxo Jr. Yeah, here it is. Luxo Jr. from the Lego Ideas collection. And I'm trying to do better because, by the way, for years I called it Legos. It's actually not. It's Lego, L-E-G-O. I also was very, very fortunate, was able to get a grant. Oh, Lord have mercy. My microphone's falling everywhere here. That's a little better. Okay. I was actually able to secure a grant through the Oklahoma Space Industrial Development Authority to buy some robots. And one of the robotic sets I bought for the younger, because I'm also the director of STEM education for the school district. And so one of the things I bought for our younger students was Lego for Education robotics kits where they can design and build. There are some instructions for the students who are a little younger and need a little more help. But for the older or more independent students, they can design, build, and execute their own robotics plan with it, which is just pretty darn cool. And I think I got 2 or 3 sets of those. And so all of the elementary schools, or most of the elementary schools, at least around the area, at least once a year, do a STEM night where students can show off their, various science fair projects and whatnot, what have you. And they also bring in, like, I'll go and set up flight simulators. I've also got a big inflatable, my program has a big inflatable drone arena and a robotics competition floor. We go set all that stuff up so the kids can come and play with it. So I enjoy that too. Lego was a big part of my childhood. I never did outgrow it. I would spend an unreasonable amount of money on Legos if I had unreasonable sums of money, but unfortunately I don't. So, that's how it goes sometimes. Let's see. I also have to be a little bit careful, or I shouldn't say careful, but Amazon doesn't seem to have quite as many Lego products as they had before. And maybe they do, and I'm just not using the right search criteria, but I'm actually going to log on to my Amazon list here real quick and see what I have as far as Lego in the cart. Let's see. If I'm going with your method, out of my 4 nephews and nieces, thing 2 is heavy into Legos. He has a ton of Harry Potter sets to put together. Yeah, I've got a smaller Harry Potter set for sure. Oh, one of the things I actually put on my Amazon list was an office chair. This chair sucks. I'm like the fifth owner of it. I inherited it. It was given to me as a surplus because I just needed one. So we found one that was surplus and just brought it home. Like the throwaway, take it to the dumpster if anybody wants to take it home, kind of else took it home. This chair sucks and it's been in every move since my little bitty house in Oklahoma City. We first got married. So I put a really nice chair in there, and I almost hate asking for a chair that expensive, but chairs matter. A good chair makes the experience on my end much better. But what I'm looking for is, well, here it is, lists. Let's see. I'm trying to find the right one here. Here it is, aviation STEM education wish list. There it is. Like I said, there's just a hodgepodge of crap in there right now. There is some cool stuff. I do have the Lego Creator lunar module. I have the Lego Ideas International Space Station. I have Lego Technic Planet Earth. There's a really cool scale craft of all of the entire fleet of space shuttles, which I can't build them. I just want to display them. That would be really cool to put up on the shelf back here. The gear wrench impact sockets. You guys don't have to pick up the gear wrench impact sockets, I promise, or the foam cutter. Some of the stuff, but like I've got a desk on there. It's really long and narrow, but it's got the shelf, so I can set the monitors up on the shelf and get them off of the desktop. And then if they ever put it back on, and it's unreasonably expensive, like $1,000, but if they ever put it back on, Tamishi Nations Bondi Saturn V model. You don't build it; it's a collector's item, but you take it apart. It's got all the individual parts and components to it, which is just fantastic as well. Let's see. That's all good. That's all good. Let's see. So the layout in the office in this house after we moved down here is different than it was. So I've got to get a new microphone stand right now. I'm just sort of making it work by resting it on my knee. Have to be up at 0300, Stephen Adams. So Stephen, thanks for hanging out with us, buddy. Be safe. We'll see you next time, man. But yeah, so the Roland V8, the V8 HD, it's a video input switcher. I can do the same thing with that. Lego Icons Concorde, Lego Shuttle Expedition, which is the shuttle stack. So the orbiter, the external tank, and the SRBs. Lego Technic Panel Planet Earth, Lego Ideas International Space Station, Lego Creator, Expert, Apollo Air Lunar Module. I'm trying to see. Abigail says, I think I got a Harry Potter Lego set for you. Yeah, I actually have to build that. I still have it. It hasn't been opened because I got it. And then shortly thereafter, we stopped the channel. And one of the promises I made was anything you guys buy for me to build on the channel, I will absolutely build on the channel. It is still sitting sealed in the box. And that is one of the next builds we're going to do. In fact, I may actually do that one in front of this one because I've had it longer. But yeah, it's downstairs in a safe place. So my children can't get to it. Let's see. My granddaughter was able to finish up an assignment testing critical thinking, planning, building, and demonstrating operation of an arm that moves at the elbow and wrist fingers that can pick up a cup. She had 2 days. That is very specific, but also very cool. That is very cool. Let's see. I'm actually working on a Lego challenge for the kids in the district, the younger kids, where each elementary school will be given, like, they'll get the same design challenge, design and build this thing, and they all get the same pieces, like Lego Classic pieces to start. Give them a timeline, and they build it, and then we'll have outside judges come in, and then there'll be a traveling trophy, and we'll do the competition each year, and then for the year that they win it, that elementary school gets to hang on to that award for the year, which I think would be pretty cool. Let's see. I'm just sort of cruising Amazon right now, looking at what they have in the Lego world here. One of my students came back from Christmas actually building the Lego Tuxedo Cat, the Lego Ideas Tuxedo Cat, which was really cool. The big Lego Hogwarts would be cool as well. It's it's a little bigger. It'd sit nice on a shelf too. If you guys haven't seen the Creator series, it is just so cool. They have 1,000 things on there on the Lego Creator series. Yeah, kids have all kinds of cool stuff they get to design and build in school they didn't when I was there. Yeah, so like this astronaut guy we did tonight, the guy we fixed tonight. Can you see it? Not quite. This guy right here, this is a Lego Creator series as well. Hey, there's a Lego Da Vinci's flying machines. That would be cool. Let me click on this bad Larry and throw it over into the list here. This is cool. Da Vinci's flying machine. That would be cool. I actually teach a section on history of aviation, and it talks about Da Vinci's role actually in that process, which is just cool. Let me go back a screen. Man, my computer's starting to age, and it's starting to run really hot, which I don't love. I don't want to have to pay for a new one. At some point I will, though. My daughter told her to call Grandpa. We discussed several possibilities. She decided to go with balsa. So when kids come to me and they say, hey, I want to build, I want to create, what should I say? Balsa, cardboard, construction paper, Elmer's glue, paper clips. You can do really good, very good, actually, modeling and prototyping just with balsa wood, construction paper, like all that. You can do a ton of it. It's really, really cool. Abigail says, my thing too, dig a Hogwarts castle a number of years ago with my dad because it was 16 plus and he was 8 at the time, 4,000 pieces. Yeah. I'd love to have something like that and put it like in the center of the table. They have the Harry Potter night bus, which is cool. Lego Technic bush plane. I need to get on the Lego website and find some stuff and then find its equivalent on Amazon. Just because Amazon allows you guys to ship me stuff and I hope, keep my address hidden. Just because you guys know there's weird people in the world. Let's see, what else? Captain Jack Sparrow's black pirate ship is super popular right now, and it looks big. It better be at that price. I also have the pirate ship that you guys bought me in the closet over there. The Lego, if you've got young kids or family, honorary nieces and nephews or actual nieces and nephews or friends' kids or whatever, if you look at and I say little, like, 5 to 8 or 5 to 10, the Lego City series is really, really cool. It says ages 6 plus. If they're if they're, above average, they can start at 4. My thing one started doing 6 plus at 3 and see what else. Working on one right now that's actually 18 plus. I just sort of supervise. When they have questions, they come and say, hey, Dad, how do I do this? Or does this look right? And I check it. But I sort of go hands off and they just sort of build it at their own pace. There's a grandfather clock that looks cool. I don't know where in the world I would put it, but it still looks cool. There's just so much cool Lego Creator out there. If it's part of a ministry, bridal, baby, etc., I know it'll hide the address. Not sure about anything else. Okay. So I have this set up as a wish list, which is through their registry site. So I think that's what it is. And if not, then if I need to, if I get to where people are wanting to send me stuff consistently enough, then I may need to go get a PO box. And I don't know that you guys would have the patience for me to do it. One of the things I used to love to do were the like boat and airplane models. Like I built a scale model Nimitz class carrier and an SR-71 Blackbird. That stuff was really cool. That stuff was really cool. But I don't know that in some of that you could work all day and do something really like significant, but not look like you made a lot of progress. I'm sure I'd bore you guys to tears doing that kind of stuff. Let's see. I'm just oh, that's cool. The DC Batman with the weird wide wheel motorcycle looking thing. Lots of Lego Star Wars. Of course, Star Wars is sort of back in demand at the moment. The best man in my wedding, my best friend for years, known him since I was 11 years old, met him at church camp when I was 11. He's into Lego architecture, so he builds all the Wright Tower and the Eiffel Tower. And have you guys seen the big Eiffel Tower? Thing's like 3.5 feet tall. Well, that would be cool. I don't know. Don't get me wrong. You send it to him and put it together. I just don't know where in the world I would put it. No idea where I would put it, and that's okay. I'd find a place. There's another company in the space. I've never purchased their products. I don't know anything about them, but it's called JM Bricklayer. And there's the $2,000 Death Star. Oh, that's a brand new product. Lego Technic app controlled Cat D11 bulldozer, 3,854 pieces. That's cool. I'm not going to put that on the list because it's $1,000, but that's still super cool. There's another big one, Lord of the Rings, the Tower of Orthanc building set. I'll be honest, I never got into Lord of the Rings. I know it's classic literature, and I know I should have, but I just didn't. I was very into Harry Potter, but never got into Lord of the Rings. Let's see. Thing 2 is 12 now, so he does any Lego sets he gets by himself. Good. Yeah, he should too. How long would it take you to do the big Eiffel Tower? No, it'd probably take me weeks. I mean, even working 2 or 3 hours, like especially during the work week. I get up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym. That's why I don't do a lot of streams during the week. Because when the kids go to bed at 8 or 8:30, I try to also go to bed shortly thereafter. But it's weekend time now, so now the time's all made up and the rules don't matter. But it would. I mean, if I sat down, if I had nobody here, the kids were gone, Megan was on a work trip. If it was just me, I would live on coffee and college football or college basketball, and I would work all weekend. And I could probably get it done. Yeah, yard decoration. Yeah, possibly. Or I would even consider just mounting it on the wall on its own shelf and putting it inside a plastic case. Like the cases you put like footballs and signed football helmets and stuff in, that sort of thing. I'd get a plexiglass case and put it in something of that size. I'm not worried about having to rebuild if it breaks it. I'm not remotely concerned about that, not for 10 seconds of my life. I'm worried that if my children or as they get older, any of their friends were to come in and try to pull it down, if it falls on them, they would get hurt. That's my primary concern. Oh, here's one. The Lego Technic Lunar Rover set. Sweet. And the wheels are multi-piece. That's cool. That is going to be a challenging little bit. Let me see if I can share this. Figure out how to find the share screen button again. What is this? What's that do? No, share screen. Yeah, let's see what this does. Yeah, that right there. There, look at that. When I go and I hover and you look at how those seats are connected with those little bitty pipes, that's going to be a challenge. That's some really small stuff. That would be cool. That would be cool. We'll go continue on that. Let's see. Gracie Girl, welcome. I don't know if I welcomed you, but Gracie Girl 24, welcome. Glad you're here. We finished. So this was a build I did a couple of years ago in the process of moving from the college prison to the house. It got bumped and broken, so we repaired this and returned it to flight state, as it were. There's a crane. They got all kinds of cool stuff, man. They didn't have this kind of cool Lego when I was a kid. Because eventually, if I end up with an unreasonable amount, by my definition, not by my wife's definition, I think she probably thinks I already have an unreasonable amount. If I ever get to an unreasonable amount, one of the things I would love to do, because I keep all the boxes, I keep all the directions, I just store them in deep storage. I would love to eventually, especially as I start to lose dexterity, if I get to the point where I just can't, especially the smaller stuff, I can't do it. I would love to be able to gift these to kids and to programs and to schools and for people who are going to enjoy it and get out of it what I did. I'm 36 years old and Lego still brings me an enormous amount of joy. They have a Lego. They have Legos from The Office, the TV show, which is like my second favorite TV show. Look at this. Look at that. Yeah, there's Phyllis and Creed and Stanley, Dwight, Daryl, Michael, Kevin, Pam, Kelly, Jim. That's cool. We're putting that on the list. I say second. It's in my top 5. I sort of like two extremes. I like Parks and Rec, The Office, and Superstore, and then I like and Frasier, of course, the original Frasier. I don't love this. I don't love the reboot, but then also I love The West Wing and I love Newsroom with Jeff Daniels. So like fast-paced drama and stupid slapstick comedy. And I like the big Megan's Way in The Big Bang Theory. I like it. I'll watch it. But Gary says, said it before. My number 3 son has every Lego set. Must be hundreds. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. There's another one I'm seeing quite a bit of here called Mold King. It's the European spelling, Mould. Oh, that's cool. There's one called Lumabricks, and I guess they have a license agreement with what's the guy's name? I think he recently died. The Painter of Light. That he was known as the Painter of Light. Anyway, my grandmother's got one of his prints on her wall. Oh, what's that guy's name? You're going to have to help me remember. I don't remember the guy's name. Kincaid, Thomas Kincaid. Elephant says, I never watched The Office. I was raising kids. I was in college. So I had the time that you didn't have. And now I'm paying for it because now you have time I don't have. And here's Harry Potter Hogsmeade Village. Oh, that's cool. That would be cool. Real tedious, but it'd still be cool. Some of the when I'm stressed, the ones that are real tedious are actually my favorite. She said, yeah, let's see. Abigail says, I'm on a computer, so I have Amazon up in another tab. I think my parents purchased the Hogwarts Castle thing too, did from another site. Just found on Amazon. It's 27. Yeah, they also there's also different scales. They have the big one, and then they have sort of the middle tier, and then they have one that's $40, $35, whatever. And none of those are the wrong answer. Like it's whatever's age appropriate. And as much as I love the big technical complicated ones, sometimes if I've just got 20 minutes to burn, you get out a little set, you put it together, it takes 5 or 10 minutes, kill a little bit of time. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. Let's what is that? Oh, I don't know that. I don't know that brand. Oops. Can't spell my way out of a wet paper bag today. I assume Art Quartz is either grading her first set of assignments or something. I'm not completely sure, but Mr. hanging out with us. For the big stuff, like if I ever do like the big, let's see, I think, what's the piece count on this one, Abigail? I'm looking here. I think they may have the big. Yeah, they do. I found the big one you're talking about, Abigail. It's the Lego set number, Lego part number is 71043. I think that's the one you're talking about. Yeah, the bigger ones, I don't mind spending the money to get the LED lighting that goes underneath it. Let's see. It's the tedious things cause you to concentrate more, so get your mind off on a different track for sure. For sure. Gary says my grandson inherited 2 model RC airplanes. They're huge. I haven't flown RC in 50 years. He needs an instructor. You game? I might be, but I'll be honest, I don't think I have any RC time. I think I had a string controlled RC back in the day. I don't know that I have any RC time, but I'll do everything I can, Gary, to help him for sure. I'll do everything I can to help him. I just don't. Yeah, I'll do whatever I can. Just cruise and see what they have. Oh, they have a Harry Potter cauldron. I didn't know that. That's cool. He tried to fly one initially, but he stalled it right off the bat. That's funny. I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at the situation because we've all been there, and you're sort of like, "Don't," we've all been there. Now, I've never stalled it right off the bat, but I have had students try to stall me at really low altitude, and that's more than an instructor. It's my survival instinct saying, I did not sign up to challenge death today. If it's all the same to you, I've got the airplane from here. Thank you for playing. Years ago, like long time, when I was like flight instructing full time, which I haven't done in many moons. I had a student one time. We were flying night cross country. The ceiling was good, visibility was good, but it was in the winter-ish. So it was in the winter, so it was cold-ish. Frontal passage coming, visibility was good, but at low level, below about 3,000 feet, maybe 2,500 feet, it was rough. Just felt like you're getting your teeth rattled out the whole time. And we were working. Well, I was not. I was sitting in the passenger seat, in the instructor seat, trying really hard not to die. And very low to the ground, like in ground effect, getting ready to land, like could almost reach out the window and touch the ground. Hit a little bit of a gust front, a little bit of a shear. Airplane misbehaved a little bit. The student said, "I can't do this." Just threw their hands up. I was like, "No, I did not sign up to die today." But thank you for playing. That one's already on there. IDK James sent that one to me, so I built that one. Ooh. I like that. I like the price point of that one. That one's a lot more doable than some of the really high-end stuff. We'll throw that in the registry too. Because what the heck, right? If it's a Lego channel, we might as well do some Lego while we're here, right? Let's see. We have that one. That one's on my list. Thing one has that one. As much as I'd love to have one for myself, Thing one has that one. Let's see. There's some new players in the Maker Brick space. It looks like. I can't spell my way out of a wet paper bag tonight. I was curious. I can't seem to find it. I was looking for. Is this it? Okay, I found it. Yeah. I saw a lady that I follow, or a creator that I follow. She built a big Eiffel Tower. She got sponsored something. It got sent to her anyway. And I was curious. It's the 10307. It's the big one. I didn't know what it retailed for. It retails for around $1,000, which would make sense. It's 3.5 feet tall. Thing's huge. Cold here in Florida. The rest of us would still say it's warm in Florida by Florida standards. There's a really good pediatrician, Dr. Beach Gem, that I follow out of Florida on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else. In fact, she just underwent an exploratory surgery and biopsy for some sort of issue they're testing in her breast. So I hope it all turns out well. I've learned a lot from her. I mean, we've got great peds for the kids, but I still learned a lot from her. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else Lego. Let me jump out to the Lego. See if there's anything out there. Oh yeah, we also have Thing one built the Lego City passenger airplane and all the accoutrement. Well, eventually that'll sit up on the shelf as well once I get to the shelving in. That's cool. I have no reason to want that. I just want it. I'm not even going to put it on the list because that's asinine. I'm trying to look and see. I was looking to see if they had anything new in the airplane collections. Let's see. They must be out of the Lego Concord because it's been on the list, but now it's showing out. So for my Lego people, there's the Lego Creator propeller plane, and the part number is 31047. If you're a Lego person, and we actually built that, and that's what the ring. And we mounted the rings, one on the number 1 engine, and my ring on the number 1 engine, and Megan's ring on the number 2 engine. And that's how the ring bearer brought the rings down the aisle at our wedding. Was actually on a Lego airplane. We got married at the airport at the Air and Space Museum with an F-14 in the background, which is just really bloody cool. Let's see what else. 52 degrees, that's not bad. We got Sorting Hat for Thing 2 for Christmas. He hasn't started it yet because he hasn't been here a lot since then. I did the Sorting Hat. That's one that I did. That was a cool build. I did not have help with that one. That was one I wanted to do by myself, and that was a good build. I enjoyed that build. When you say, I'm not going to get too deep into your personal life, it's just an interesting statement. He hasn't been here a lot since then. So is it staying with the other parents, staying with the grandparent? I'm not going to. I'm just curious. I'm not going to dig into your business. There was a problem with ordering the chair, not deliverable the address they have. Okay, to ship to your home? Sure. Didn't know that there was. Let me look and see what they have for our address here. Actually, let me try this. I want to make sure I understand what's going on. I'm not necessarily opposed to it, Gary, and I think that'd probably be fine. But I want to look and see what I've got the address set on the back side of this thing for. Let's go settings. Yeah, it should be fine. Let me check one detail here. Yeah, we'll do that. I see why it's not. Let me try this. All right, Gary, try it again and see what happens. Oh, Abigail, you are the grandmother. Okay, I was thinking you were the thing's parents or parent, given the fact that your parents are still living. So you guys have a long living genealogical tree, which is really, really cool. That's exciting. So I misunderstood the dynamics. My apologies for that. Yeah, I think I figured out what it was. I think in this case, I misunderstood one of the settings, so I went back and refreshed that setting. So the address is still confidential, but I changed the setting that would allow. I think in this case, Amazon is the reseller and that, or the logistics provider, and that's being sold by a third party, not through Amazon, but by through a third party, and Amazon's doing the logistics. And I had a setting where third party sellers could not ship it to that address for, I don't know why I said it, but anyway, I updated it, so it should work now. You're the aunt, gotcha. Oh, that's right. You said my nephew, or yeah, you said your nephew, my thing too. Yeah, I got you now. That makes sense. All right. Okay, Gary. I think I changed that setting, but if not, have it sent to the house. Whatever, Gary. Whatever you got to do. Save changes. Cool. All right. So let's go back to wherever it was I was before. Uh-huh. Groovy, Gary. You're good. You're a good man. You get it. You've been around long enough to know the importance of a good chair, don't you? Somebody once said, never skimp on your desk and never skimp on your chair. So you only ever have to buy one of each. So there you go. All right, let's go back out to the world here. No, one of the things I'm looking for, now that I've filled my box all the way back up, I need to jump back out and look for, like I said, I'm looking for some camera options, actually. You have that same chair. Well, the one that was on my list, or the one that the one that you own. But anyway, if it's the one that's on the list, I sounds like you like it based on your explanation, your exclamation point. So I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy it as well. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I need to come up with a camera solution better than just this little webcam here. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but I need to come up with a camera solution. And really, I need to come up with a desk solution too. You have the same chair sitting in it now. Perfect. I misunderstood. Yeah, I misunderstood. Yeah, groovy. Yeah, I've got to come up with a camera solution. I'd like to get a few more so we can get different angles. I can sort of switch back and forth. I didn't pick a color, whatever the default color was. I don't get hung up on chair colors. But yeah, I need to figure out a camera solution. I'd like to have 2 or 3 cameras that have different angles. I'd like to kind of have one over the back, over my shoulder, that looks sort of down on the primary workspace, and then another one that sits up sort of behind the primary, sits behind the primary camera. So the primary camera can look down, and then I have another one, and I sort of have some options. That would certainly be a good option too. I'm just trying to figure out what all products are available in that space. So, like I said, I'm pretty tech savvy, but it's just not a space that I'm terribly familiar with. So, I'll have to wait and see. I've been doing a bunch of Googling and Reddit, and a few Discord servers just in the camera space. I do a lot of audio video stuff, but most of my cameras are like professional grade. It's a small business owner. Professional grade, long zoom. We use them like at church and to broadcast ball games and that sort of thing. So, is what it is. Took a while to get the back support position where I liked it. Everything felt good until it didn't, but I got it good to go now. Good. Yeah, I'll take that advice. Once the new chair comes in, I actually have the plastic protector mat that goes on the carpet. I don't have it down right now. When the new chair comes in, I'll put that down. It'll give me a reason to do it. Let's see. I need to get with Stan, Dr. Stan, too, and start getting back to our weekend, the World This Week segments. They kind of came to a stop when Megan started school, just because on the weekends is when she does her homework, which means I take primary responsibility for the kids during that time. And so I'm really good with audio, and it frustrates me when I produce bad audio, but I'm really good with audio. I'm just trying to learn more about a glass chair pad. Like, is it tempered so that my fat butt doesn't break it? Is it actual glass? Tempered glass? Yeah, there it is. I'll be dang. For that to work, I would have to get a new desk because I don't have an opening under my desk wide enough for these. But that's cool. I mean, I could always get one and store it. I've got a closet that I can store it in. Keep it safe. There's one that's on a really deep sale. It's like $100 off. 48 by 60. What is that? 4 feet by 5, 4 feet by 5 feet. Yeah, it's a good size. I don't know anything about these. I mean, I don't know brands or anything. But tempered glass is tempered glass. I guess it is what it is. Like that's why I'm asking. Like, I mean, it's tempered glass, so it should be okay. But my concern is, I come in, I said, no, because I sit down a lot. You don't see me, but I'm like 6'7", 300 pounds. So I'll try the glass as long as I don't end up pulling a hernia or something in the process. The viewership's going up. Welcome, everybody. I'm sure there's people in here I haven't seen. Let's see. Look at the clock. It's approaching midnight for me. I'm getting up early. Have a good night. Orlando to Rochester. I think I'll head out. Listen, have a very good night. Thanks for hanging out with us, Abigail, and be safe. We'll see you soon. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I threw a glass. Never thought I'd put one of these on there. I threw a glass floor protector on the list, and we'll see. It also looks incredibly heavy. What thickness is it? It says 48 by 60. Where's the description here? Withstands more than 1,200 pounds of weight. Well, I'm big, but I'm not that big, so it should be okay, boys. Let's see. 100% floor protection, no fuss cleaning. I'm trying to see how thick it is. Just can I wrestle this thing upstairs by myself? Huh. Well, we're gonna find out again. They are extremely heavy, delivered by truck. No problem with weight. Even drop some serious stuff on it with no problem. Okay. Well, that's a good review. Sounds like I'll need to round up a voluntold or two and have them come help me drag this thing into the house and then into the studio. And I'm also going to have to clean the studio in order to move the furniture necessary to get that thing in here. But you know what? We'll try it. I'll try anything once. It's great feedback, though. I didn't even know these existed till I was today years old when I learned these things were a thing. Like I said, I really do need a good desk. The desk that's in here came with the house and was in the bedroom when we moved into the house. So that just became the YouTube studio because there was already a desk here. It's just big old monster of a thing. It's all solid wood. This booger's heavy. And I don't mind spending money on a good desk, or at least putting a good desk on the list. I just got to find a way to get rid of this thing. Let's see. I'll bring my son-in-law with me just to cost you a beer. Deal. We're just down the street from. Actually, you know what? We'll go to local brewery here in town. They got some good house beers. We'll go down there get a beer. The problem is with some of these desks, man. I just don't know anything about the manufacturers. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if they're any good. I don't know. If you guys have, whether it's got a nice big work surface or even an L shape where I can have sort of a primary, secondary setup. If you guys have any recommendations for desks, let me know. And it's a big bedroom. I can put a full-size office desk in here, so I'm not worried about the size. Or I'm not worried about being too big. It'll fit. But if you guys have any any recommendations, either brands or anything like that for a good desk, I'll take them because I've got to get something other than my current setup. So if you have recommendations, I'll take them. Like this says it's a standing desk, which is great, except does it lower or is it standing only? Like some of these pictures do it justice, some of these pictures don't. Like here's one that wouldn't be bad, but it doesn't give me the dimensions. Like I couldn't work on that. Yeah, okay, so it is height adjustable, but I couldn't. It wouldn't be big enough for me to do what I wanted to do. I said I need to be big enough that I can put a Lego set sort of right here in the middle and work on it. 47.2. What kind of weird measure is 47.2 by 23.6? Why are we mixing decimals and inches? Inches should be measured in fractions. Centimeters or meters should be measured in decimals. So I don't know. I don't know what 47.2 inches is. I guess it would actually be foot's 12 inches. 10% would be 1.2. So 0.2 would be 20%. So it'd be 2.4 inches. 47 inches and then 20% of an inch. Oh, Lord. Yeah, like, why? Who puts a decimal when you should have a fraction? Sorry, that's me being whiny. Like I said, I just don't know enough about office furniture to figure out what I need. I don't mind either finding a good one or putting a good one on there. Here's a big one. A 78 inch. How long is 78 inches? 6'6". That would work well. And I'm certainly capable of building it. 2 separate packages. 78.74 long by 55.11 wide by 29.53 high. Ample storage, 2 ordinary drawers. Let's see. Meticulously manufactured using engineered woods. It's probably pressboard. It's not going to be hardwood. Walnut and black finish. Yeah, so it's going to be some sort of pressboard or plywood core. A newer model of this item. Okay, let's look at the newer model of the item then. That's 57.7 deep by 85.8 wide. 1 file drawer, 2 storage drawers, an open storage shelf, 1-inch in-cabinet storage shelf, and the CPU compartment's great. I don't have a CPU, but I could still use that for other things. But it doesn't look like it's it looks like it's a laminate top. Maybe like a soapstone top almost. It's still cool. I'd still use the heck out of it. That's cool. Oh, decimals and rain amounts. Yeah, engineered wood is okay as long as you keep the humidity in the house low. Well, the unit for this end of the house is the AC unit's a really new unit, so we do a pretty good job. I tend to warm it up in the summer just so I don't have a massive electric bill, but and I keep the blinds shut. And I mean, I do the best I can. But this doesn't say, this new design here I'm looking at doesn't say it's engineered. It's actually on sale at the moment. It doesn't say that it's engineered wood, though. See more product details. Okay, let's see more product details. Let's see. Okay, it is engineered wood. Assembled weight is 172 pounds, but it comes in 2 packages, so that's not a big deal. Okay, so the base is engineered wood, the top is engineered wood, and the leg is engineered wood. And so it's going to come, the cabinets are all pre-assembled. So it's just going to be, there's going to be a box. Yeah, so you basically just can bolt the top on, what it looks like. It's cool, though. The size is good. And since it's not my primary workspace, then it should be fine. I won't be all that hard on it. Let's see. It's made by Tribe Designs. I've never heard of Tribe Signs. Interesting. Huh. Almost nothing's Hollywood anymore. It's not, and when it is, it's priced at a point that's uncomfortable for most people. You know, now you're starting to look at furniture that has a comma in the acquisition price. You know, it's at least 4 digits in cost, maybe 5 digits in cost. Sort of depends, I think. Yeah, there it is. If it's priced below $2,000, it's yeah, exactly. Well, I was actually hoping the top was like a soapstone top. You know, like it looks like granite, but it's not. It's a little softer. It's lab created, but it's still really, really solid. We put my dad put some of those countertops actually in his house, and they've turned out really, really well. Let's see, where is this one made? You said most of it's in China too. Yeah, well, I mean, inevitably, most everything's in China because we're not allowed to pay our children that kind of money in the U.S. I'm going to throw this just for now. I'm going to stick it in the registry so I don't lose it, or in the wish list so I don't lose it. I can come back to it. Now let's look at this one. Now that's cool. That might be solid. That may be hardwood. It's 2,200. £200. More product details. Materials. Here it is. It just says material type wood on this one, so this might be. It's cool. I'm not spending $2,200 on a desk right now. I got 2 kids to raise, but still, it's a cool desk. That would actually be really. That's actually got dual work surfaces on it. Let's see if I can, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Throw it up there. Yeah, there you go. That's not the one I threw in the cart, but anyway, that was cool. But you're also going to be limited when you're looking for furniture on Amazon instead of like a furniture store too. Engineered wood is still wood. It's just not solid. Yeah, it's a higher end version of press board. They take the wood, either plywood is plywood, and then press board. They take the wood shavings and glue and create these layers, and then squeeze it together under really high temperatures and pressures to create a semi solid surface. I mean, our desks that we have at the school, they're laminate. They're a laminate top on a press board core, and they hold up to the wear and tear of students. So I'm not remotely critical of that at all. I actually need to look here at the local furniture store in town. What warning just popped up? I just got a weird warning. I just want to look and see what they have as far as like executive desks. What the like their kids go to some of their kids go to the local schools here. Let's see, office. I'm just curious from a pricing perspective here. I don't need an office package. I do like that barn door cupboard though, or cabinet though. I can't believe they don't have any executive desks. My spouse does woodworking, so that's cool. I grew up learning how to metalwork, and so my carpentry skills are rough. I'm still learning. About woodworking as I go. I mean, I can weld and cut and plasma cut and fabricate and bend pipe and shape and use an English wheel. Like I can do some of the old. I'm good. I'm not nearly as good as the professionals, but I'm good enough to get by. My woodworking skills are rough. I'm trying to learn as I go. Gary says, speaking about not paying attention to colors, I bought an e-bike for me and just clicked and clacked through the purchase process. Was delivered a pink bike. Hey, matches my shirt. There you go. Took some grief from my clan on that one. I would think so. That's funny. Oh, that's funny, Gary. Oh, that's a hoot. That got me giggling. I got to be honest. It says shop now. Let's see what this button does. Oops, that page can't be found. Okay, well, that's nifty, isn't it? I'm trying to see if they have like under office sets, if there would be like an exec desk. And these big honking executive desks are just really not all that popular right now, for being honest. Like when I was in corporate America, I still miss my big honking exec desk that I had when I was practicing law full time. Here we go. Because I had thought about a gaming desk, but the problem is I don't have the square footage on the actual desktop to do the Lego stuff. So if I go with a gaming desk, it accommodates the monitors well, but I'd have to have a second workspace, and then I'd have to be able to move the microphone and all this other stuff. It just adds a layer of complexity to the whole thing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, I am not spending. Oh, that one's got leather top. I was like, that's $13,000. There's a leather top on it. Sorry, I remember when I used to not blink at spending money, and then I had kids. Like Megan and I were talking about this the other day. We got some new sheets. Like when we moved, we just threw away the old sheets, and the sheets are relatively inexpensive, right? Threw away the old sheets, just moved and got a new mattress, and got new sheets with a new mattress, the whole thing, right? Because the mattress was old, and I don't mind spending almost unreasonable amounts of money on a mattress. I have no problem with that. But so anyway, we get it, and so we needed to order sheets. The sheets came in, and I'm like, and we had ordered 3 sets, and I'd opened 2 of them, and for whatever reason, like one of the kids' food allergies flared up and they got sick. And so anyway, I was changing sheets and changed sheets and couldn't get them all washed. So I ended up opening the 3rd pack. So we'd ordered 3. We only had 2 in rotation. Opened the 3rd. Brand new pack. Threw them on the bed. Felt great. Brand new, super soft. After like 3 washings, they're already really rough. And I joked with the other day. I said, I think we need to quit cheaping out on sheets and buy some really high quality sheets. And because I think we paid like maybe 70 or 80 bucks for the whole set, like 2 pillowcases, the sheet, the top sheet, and the fitted sheet. And before we had kids, we were buying really good stuff from like Bed Bath Beyond, which doesn't exist anymore. So I've got to find a new supplier of sheets, I guess. But I look at these thread counts. I'm like, what is this thread count? 6. And I'm used to the really high thread counts when you could spend stupid amounts of money on sheets before you had kids. And I'm like, I could buy really good sheets, or I could, make sure my kid has a coat, things like that, and not in a bad way. We sort of chuckled about it, but sort of the world, it's a very different season in life right now for us than what we're used to. This thing better wipe your butt. I jumped on a website of a furniture store in Oklahoma City that I'm familiar with, and $14,000 for a desk, an ebony desk with a leather top. Lord have mercy. Product Q&A. There are no Q&A. Nobody's asked questions about a $14,000 desk. This is just insanity. Lord. Hey, you could spend $8,000 on a poker table. No thanks. $7,100 on a foosball table. These people are out to lunch. Listen, I don't like enough people to have a table full of people playing poker at my house. Y'all be tripping. All right, guys. I think we're winding down. My brain's finally starting to slow down. So we got the astronaut fixed. So for those of you that came in and hang out, we got the astronaut fixed. Got the legs put back on and the body pack. I'm still missing one piece, but I'm sure I'll find it. I'm not gonna. It's in good enough position now. We can throw it back on a shelf and it'll still look really cool to put on the wall. So anyway, if you guys haven't already, I've been updating the Amazon list, so go check that out. Of course, there's always Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. Take care of my mods. We, of course, now have memberships to the channel as well. And so Gary gifted 5 memberships. So super appreciative to him. If you want to, as always, if you want to support the channel, there's lots of ways to do that. The links on the channel page, the landing page. And if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you'll know every time I go live. And when we reconvene, we will finish the dirigible. I should be able to finish it in 1, maybe 2 sessions. Should be able to finish the dirigible relatively quickly. And then from there, we will do the Lego Harry Potter that Abigail provided. And then we will do after that build, we will do the Pixar Lux Junior. And then after that, we'll be out of Legos. We'll have to come up with a new plan. Appreciate everybody coming by. Hopefully we'll see you again. In the meantime, do me a favor. Be kind to somebody. We'll talk to you guys soon.